Welcome to Corby Town TV and the inaugurating first episode, if that's the word, I don't know. Anyway, my name's Chuck, this is Michael. If you're watching us, please subscribe. If you're watching us on the YouTube channel, it's the right thing to do. I'm joined by two people that you should all know from the under-18s. We've got firstly on our far right, that's just an indicating point and not what he is. That, of course, is Paul Tiffney, otherwise known as Tiff, played for Corby Town at the, well, the Triangle, I guess, was your salad days, wasn't it? And joined by his assistant, Colin Hutchinson, that you may recognise just from being around Corby Town. But here we are, and we're here to talk about the under-18s. The game would have been against Stamford tonight, it's been called off, but we need to know more information than that. So, Tiff, tell us, where are you in the league? How's it going, and how did it start?
Well, Colin got the job to start with. He's the manager.
You're the manager?
He's the manager.
Wow. I'll apologise. Hutch will take me outside in a minute and beat me up. Thinking that he's obviously, you're the manager.
You're with me, like that.
So how's it going? Where did it start? You came up and did one game and thought, wow.
No, well, we got a job in what was it, sort of
September.
End
of August, beginning of September.
Yeah, and we didn't even know each other, to be fair.
Wow.
Ever met. We've got friends of friends and stuff, but we've never really met.
We actually standing there watching. Who was it against?
Pre-interview for me. We come up here to speak to Stevie, and we watched the game together. Didn't we? Oddly enough, fate as it goes, I suppose. But yeah, we took on. It was a mixture of the scholarship team that plays at Corby Town and under 16 who would be this season players. So it turned out, a few fell by the wayside and what have you, but 85% of the team is pretty much U11 players. 15 at the start of the season's progressively turned into 16, but not all of them yet. We had high hopes, but we weren't arrogant enough to think that we were gonna, go and smash teams and stuff like that. In fact, if anything, we did have a fun meeting, didn't we? By saying as long as we don't get beat 6-0, 7-0 regularly,
It was a learning season.
It was a learning curve, and turns out we've done actually all right. We haven't lost too many games. We've got to one semi-final, which is County Cup. We come across the monster of a team called Daventry. We got beat 3-0. Lads were gutted, weren't they? But we're top of the Jamie Shield League that we were playing in today. I mean, Stamford was one of those games. We won tonight. We had a bit of leeway at the top of the league. With we're equal on points, but we're a game behind. So playing them tonight, we really went 3 points ahead plus have that game. So it really gives us a bit of leeway going into this Daventry game next week, which is a tough game for us. But yeah, if we win this little mini league that we're into the semi-finals of that. And we're actually into a quarter-final of the League Cup. So, all in all, we're looking like a cup team, but yeah, all in all, it's not a bad season, is it?
It's gone very well. Even in the league, we've been playing against some of the teams that's 2 or 3 years older than us. We've been holding our own, to be fair.
We managed to get to second, didn't we, just before Christmas.
And then I've dropped out of the league, so we deducted the 6 points straight away.
Wow.
So we're down to 4th in the league, but
we've got most teams to come and play us up here. We're unbeaten up here this year.
Yeah, we've not been beaten at home. Don't want to curse ourselves.
Probably have to.
We have a tough team here in a couple of weeks, to be fair. Owen Chenix, and they're a good outfit, and I think that's in the quarterfinals of the League Cup, isn't it? So we'll give it our all. We will, no matter who we bring, because we're trying to make this place a fortress, and we have. We're in March, and we took this job on in September, so we've got that far.
It is the pointy end of the season, isn't it? This is where you have to kick in and show determination, and certainly keep the focus on where you want to be at the end of it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've been in contact with the under-15s manager today, going to look at their training sessions tomorrow, see if we can then pick a selection to either come train with us during the week on a Thursday, maybe help them progress for next season, and have a chat, maybe send 5 of them along in the trials in the summer. So again, Corby, we would have a couple of players at the top end, we'd have a bunch of year 1s next year, and then another bunch of year 11 progressing through. And hands up to Corby, they're great for that.
And how's the academy? How does that work? And you're drawing from that as well?
The scholarship team is a bit separate, but it's almost a college team. and they train during the week and they do the odd day of handwritten work. But it's basically they're in a college league and they play on Wednesdays. Now they do have the option to play for the 18s as well, as long as they're good enough, type thing. And turns out what the cream of the crop out of that lot that we got was the keeper. He's timed it around what 360. You'd say 180, but 360. He's gone from sort of down here. He's right up here at the minute, isn't he?
Yeah, he's really progressed really well. Just a shame we lose him at the end of the year.
There was one player that we converted from centre forward. He couldn't hit, he couldn't hit anything.
No.
So he ended up being a natural centre back. But through troubles of life, he's had to move away to Babington Mills. He was a big loss, to be fair. He was a big unit, won everything in the air. He was scary, wasn't he?
Fast as well.
Fast. He had an eye for the game. So we did question the manager, didn't we? Say, how did you see him as a forward? But yeah, we inherited a captain from them as well. His name's Corby. He's done well this year.
He's been in around the first team under the old manager Lee.
And then little Shea Brown up front, he's been knocking in goals. He's had a taste of the first team as well this season. So, we didn't expect this much success, to be honest with you.
It was basically a learning season. We put it down to a learning season this year, build it for next year, and then we can go again the year after. So, but to be fair, we've held our own quite well this year. And to be going in the final part of the season, being in semi-finals, quarter-finals, and still in the mix for the top of the league, it's really quite...
It's a great place to be.
Yeah.
And obviously we're here in the Corby Town Media Centre, and how many of the boys come and actually watch the Steel Men? Because it's an important thing to know that they're involved, and we want every team to be involved here at Steel Park.
I've seen the majority of them.
All of them.
They were absolutely buzzing the other week. They're all in the corner there against Hales Owen, all jumping around.
In the crowd, yeah.
You're having to phone them to tell them to come back out.
It was a busy day, but it did feel like a proper football match in a proper football stadium with proper fans and with a tremendous result at the end of the day. So, we can only hope for more of that here at Steel Park. Next big game, of course, Saturday against Spalding. Obviously, not to take any shine off you guys, but it will be a very important game, and they need 700, 800 here to actually make that feel as if it's a really important thing. And it could be the fifth game on the bounce. So all good stuff. And of course, you've been watching the games as well, and you've enjoyed it as well, haven't you, Michael?
I have indeed, yes. Been doing Corby Town now for a while. I've just returned actually. One of the things I've noticed going back to like the youth team, over the previous 6-7 seasons, we've had a number of players that have gone on. 2 or 3 spring to mind. One is Jordan Crawford and one is Connor Kennedy now, who are actually playing in the National League North. One is Danny Draper, who's actually playing in this league. Do you see any future people within your squad already that you think might go on to play at a higher level?
He's got the hard questions. I'm just giving you a patter here.
If we can keep the team that we've got together,
keep them on the straight and narrow. This is a hard couple of years.
The hardest thing for us is that we have year 11 boys, so they're not first years yet, and when they get their results at the end of the season will determine whether they stay with us ultimately. But if we can keep the majority of that team, I'd say 90, 80, 70% of them, there's at least 7 that could easily go on.
The first team manager will need to go shop and he'll be on his doorstep.
We have defenders, midfielders and forwards that could easily progress into that path that you just talked about.
Totally different from my day, Chuck. These boys can actually play football.
It's not for me to go back. Obviously, I've been at Corby Town a long time. I've known Paul Tiffney a long time because he played at the club. What must have been 15 years ago, I'm kind of thinking. Probably a bit more than that, but I mean, you came through the ranks. You were a young player that came up through playing with other teams before turning out to Corby Town, and a great defender in that time. And you must have learnt from players around you.
Yeah, definitely. And if I can give them a bit of experience now of what I've got back then, that'll help them out of the tree. And some of these boys, they really are quality. The way they can get the ball down, pass the ball around, and they're all comfortable on the ball. It's not like what I used to do, just launch you.
It's one way of clearing defence.
Yeah. But they're all...
It's their age that it shows it for them. Being 15 and competing in an 18s level is it's like 2-3 years above themselves, because most of the teams we come across, like Kettering and stuff, they use their top end players. They use 18-year-olds, and it's visible and you can tell, and they let you know that they're doing that. And we have competed. I mean, we had 5 chances against Kettering, and we ended up getting beat 2-0.
We actually had
at half time. We ended up getting beat 2-0. It was a real close game, wasn't it?
Yeah, we actually had their crowd applauding us off at the end.
Yeah.
Because he realised how young our team was, and they actually applauded us off at the end. They were all stayed about it, because it's a big boost for, even though we're getting beat some of the games, but when we're walking off the pitch and crowds are cheering us on like that, because you're talking Kettering had about, I think there's 2 or 3 that's been on the fringe of the first team, so that's a couple of leagues above our first team sort of thing. So it's good to see the progression of how well they've done from the start of the season to where we are now.
Of course, football isn't rocket science. We all know this. It's all about possession and getting the ball in the back of the net, the opposition. That's it, basic. But how do these young lads, how are they coping? Learning the game and growing and developing. Are their eyes on playing for other teams? Do they think, I could be good enough for Corby? Or do you think they're looking at going other places?
The majority of them would love to play for Corby by the looks of, and by the way they're talking, they would love to break into that first team.
There's definitely 5-6 that are so Corby driven.
Because
Just
we're up
want
here.
to play for Corby. There's a few that we have that are from out of towns that maybe have sites elsewhere, but yeah, there's definitely a good bunch there that are from Corby and are driven to play for Corby.
So one of the things we have now in this room and available to us is that we want to be speaking to every club, every team that's based under the Corby Town banner. So are you yourselves looking towards having open, honest relationships maybe with the manager of the first team to say, look, I know you're interested, you've got some lads, do you want them to train with the first team? Is it going to get to that point sooner or later, do you think?
Well, we kind of had that luxury at the start of the season.
When we were doing
that, speak about the old manager Lee. He was training next to us at Lodge Park.
Yeah, and he was filming a few.
He's taking in a few. He took our keepers, and it was good for the lads to be sort of training next to that environment. Looking, thinking, could it be us next week that gets a little shouting? So yeah, that was real good. But the new managers come in. We've met him, haven't we?
Met him.
But they train up here now, and it's separated from where we are. So maybe, hopefully, in the future, that luxury might come back.
It does seem very much so at the moment that we've got a manager who has got a very definite point of where he wants to be.
Yeah.
He's got, 6, 7 games, 8 games left at the end of the season.
Yeah,
So he wants to be in the playoffs. He's playing it down. He's a proper manager. He's playing it down, but he wants to be in the playoffs because if we can get out of this league, then we can push on, and that's good for everybody under this umbrella of Corby Town. So that would benefit every team we have here. But it's a good thing going forward, and it must be great for the kids to play out on that pitch.
It's Wembley, isn't it?
Compared to some of the places, we played Rushden and Diamonds when we were playing on Asteroids back
that's terrible.
Morton, wasn't it? Morton College?
Yeah.
And that's where Rushden and Diamonds played. It's like, even Kettering Town, it was frozen the pitch, and it was like bobbly all over the place.
Nowhere's compared to our pitch.
No.
And I think it gives the other team a bit of an incentive to come here and want to win, or at least play well out there on that beautiful surface, because it's absolutely amazing here. The facilities are fantastic.
And we will be speaking to some of the other people involved at Corby Town, certainly the grounds people, because they put so much effort into that ground, because it looks absolutely exceptional when Corby Town play there on a Saturday afternoon. So more updates coming on this channel soon. That sounds like proper TV, Michael!
it does indeed, Chuck.
Wow. So next up, obviously you've got a big game here on the 13th versus Daventry. They sound like we've got to play them very soon. We've got to play them on Bank Holiday Monday. So do they wear purple as well?
Yeah.
Oh, purple kits. It's just wrong. I know Corby Town's away kit's purple. Don't start me. Isn't your, because I was in the kit cupboard the other day. Isn't your away kit a kind of blue shirt?
Yeah, we have a navy blue away kit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a black and white, traditional home kit.
They don't know this, you see. They don't know, but we need to know this. So when you're wearing this kind of navy blue, it's not that navy. It's not not Tottenham shorts navy. It's more of a dark navy, like the petrol that you're kind of wearing. But what shorts are you wearing with that? Are you wearing white shorts?
Navy.
Navy. That's fine. So in my mind, it just looked like a Rangers kit. That's
No. It's pure blue.
all right. Cool. So
There is another kit we've got. We're going to take to Scotland. It's a salmon.
I haven't seen it yet. More shores in here, it's not too pink. But we're going to play.
That's for Navy
We're going to play Young Scotsman.
So yes,
in salmon.
I'm aware of it. So you're going to, I believe, Dundee to play Dundee United, or you're playing Dundee.
We're going to Dunfermline.
Oh right, okay.
Originally to play.
Hey, begin with a D. Sue me.
Originally to play Dunfermline.
Right.
Under 17s or 18s, I think it is, and yeah. So in that they put it out there that we were coming up, and they contacted a couple of clubs to see if we wanted to play on Saturday. So Dundee United have stepped forward and want to play us, and we've actually rented out East 5's pitch.
Wow.
Which is a half decent outfit, and so we're playing Dundee United on Saturday the 8th on Dundee's pitch, and then we're playing Dunfermline on the Sunday. But I think there's a sneaky tactic there from Dunfermline to tire us out, so we don't go up there and whip them.
If you're playing Saturday and then a Sunday, obviously you won't have the problems that maybe you would have been aware of, Tiff, coming through the ranks and finding some sort of hostelry or somewhere that sells kind of a fizzy drink of some sort. That won't be an issue for any of the boys in the team, will it?
No. And we're hoping to find a leisure centre close by. We've looked on maps, maybe to get them in, recuperate, maybe a little swim, sauna, jacuzzi, that type of thing.
Wow. Because
we're going out there to mean business. It's a football trip, it's not a holiday.
I like that. That's good. That just puts it into place, doesn't it? You're going up to play football and you're wearing a shirt with a Corby Town badge on it. That's the way it is. But yeah, it's a great opportunity, isn't it? A great opportunity for the boys as well.
Yeah, Dunfermline are interested to see the lads. I don't know about Dundee because it's just an add-on, but I do know that Dunfermline are interested to watch the boys, and who knows where that goes. Hopefully if we do well, it can be something that can be arranged every Easter and maybe have a tie with another club or whatever, something like that. But yeah, for now, it's a great experience for the lads.
Obviously, we don't want to shame any football clubs. That's not the way that we would go about business. But I know that Rangers have played at Corby Town, or played against Corby Town 5 times, whilst the other team in Glasgow have never managed to get here. So, why not contact us? We're friendly and fun. So, and obviously, Corby Town is, and Corby itself is well known for being an enclave of Scottish people that all came down with the steelwork. So, please, if you wear hoops, contact us. So, but yeah, going forward, so you've got lots of football still to play and lots of things to do. But where do you think you're going to end up at the end of the season? It's a difficult question.
Hopefully in a job.
But where do you think the team are going to end up? With a good chance of ending up.
If we win all of our league games, there's a potential that we could finish second. You know, if we lose 2 of those hard 4 that we've got left in the league, it looks like we'll finish 4th. So, you know, it's a pinch of salt with that one because it looks worse than actually what it is. I don't know, Owen Chennett's a hero, a really good outfit, isn't he? So that'll be hard to beat them to get into the semis. But we're hoping definitely maybe to get to a final of this Jamin Shield. Definitely, because you know it'll be either Kettering or Diamonds in the semis.
We'll get a home draw. We'll fancy ourselves for the semi.
So yeah, hopefully a final. If not, 2 semi-finals, a quarter-final, and 3rd, 4th in the league's not a bad season, I don't think.
Not at all. That's great ambition. Just great football, really, isn't it? And that's what you want to see. And it's bringing kids along, which is the other great thing, of course. Yeah. And if they are from the town, it just makes it a great community spirit and a good community-based football club within the town that other kids will look at and go, well, I want to do that. Yeah, and that's the way forward. Has to be involvement, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How do we tie this up, Michael?
How do we tie it up? Yeah, just going forward, matches. What matches have you got coming up, and how do you promote the matches? Because obviously we all see something on social media on the actual game day. Would there be something going forward to try and up the exposure of the youth team?
I normally just contact Macca, and he normally puts out on social media sort of thing, and he puts all that sort of stuff out. He puts like the posters and things.
So that's on the Corby Town
Yeah.
website page, which is produced by Pachiro. So yes, that's fine. Have they got their own, I don't know, Twitter account, or does it go that far? You've got that information there?
I think he just puts out on
Which
all
is straight out the
on
Corby Town
Town
site. So yeah, check social media for details and see when these guys are playing. But the next game should be scheduled for the 13th, Monday the 13th of this month, March. And I don't know, they need a calendar in here. And then hopefully, obviously, you can get behind us. I don't know, what are you, the Steel Boys? Are we going with
We're
that?
Steel Men.
But obviously, yeah, it's going to be a great prospect to actually be there and support everybody along the club. So yeah, we can only hope we can help in administering this and facilitating this in the best way possible.
This is fantastic for the team and for Corby. We're more than obliged to be here at the pool.
More than obliged. Yeah.
We've had a good time. This guy's funny.
Yeah, Corby Radio, or even not Corby Radio, Corby Town. You can edit that out.
You have to get Corby Radio in somewhere.
Well, yeah, it shows on Tuesday, 8 till 10. But yes, no, thanks for coming in. I don't know, we didn't plan to end this, we were just going to keep talking until about 12 o'clock. So we'll say thanks for coming in. Paul, Hutch, it's great, brilliant, thanks for being here, and all the best for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. It's been a pleasure to meet you as well.
You too.